Hello and welcome to your first lesson online. This is Mrs. Olvani. This recording is most likely being watched by my students and Mrs. Renke's students as well. Oh, that explains something I was trying to figure out earlier. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly because I think it's a little bit of review, and then you're going to be asked to do some homework to practice it. Chapter 1, Lesson 1, we're going to talk about, a lot of you were asking me, what are these integers? I forgot. Well, they're actually integers, and they consist of any positive or negative number and 0. If I were to list them out as a set, I might put 0 somewhere in the middle, listing the positive numbers, which I'll do green because money's green and I like money to be positive, 4, 5, 6, dot, dot, dot means that continues to infinity with no end. And then moving in the opposite direction from 0 are the negatives. Dot, 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 because that would go down to negative infinity. If we were going to describe this in words, we would say any positive or negative number and 0. Because 0, regardless of what Mrs. Geralman may have told you, is that 0 is not positive or negative. Here is a picture of it. That's our number line and what it looks like. Some examples of an integer include 0, 12, 16, negative 100, negative 52, positives, negatives, and 0, and some examples that are not integers, just so that you can see and not be confused. Decimals are not integers. Fractions are not integers. Pi, as much as I love it, is not an integer. How do you know where the positive integers are? Positive integers are to the right of 0. My handwriting is not very lovely on this. And how do you know where the negative integers are? Those are to the left of 0. Did you notice I tried to be neater that time? Trying to be neater. See what I can do. Okay. Is 0 positive, negative, or neither? Again, whatever Mrs. Geralman said is wrong. 0 is neither positive nor negative. We're going to graph this set on the number line. There is one problem in this set, though. It says it's a set of integers. I hope you see that negative 1.5 is not an integer because it has a decimal point in it. Graphing 4, here's 0. Positives are to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to label that A and this A so I know they match. Negative 5 is to the left of 0. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. I'm going to label that B and this B so I know they go together. And 0. 0 is right in the middle. I'm going to label that C and this C so I know they go together. We use integers to describe situations. If a temperature is below 0, that means it's negative. If you deposit money into your bank account, it means your bank account's getting bigger. So deposit indicates a positive number. You do not have to write that little plus sign, so we often just write 20, and that indicates positive. If you lose money, yards, anything like that, that indicates a negative number. And to withdraw means you're going to take away out of your bank account, and that is a negative number. Those words deposit and withdraw are ones that kids sometimes struggle with. So write yourself maybe a note. Deposit is a positive number, and withdraw is a negative. Since it's a video, you can pause it, go back and rewind if you didn't hear me. When you're learning online, that's something you need to do. Sometimes you get distracted. Your brother makes a noise. So you don't just keep going and miss that piece. You need to rewind and go back and hear that again. Or if it didn't make sense the first time, maybe just listen to it again to see if maybe you can catch it the second time. When we're learning, we need to hear things many times before they really sink into our head. Sorry, oh my. Absolute value is used in our world all the time because rarely do I say, "Oh, I walked negative 12 blocks from my house." I just say I walked 12 blocks, and that's what absolute value is. Absolute value is a distance from 0 on the number line. So if 0 is my house, it doesn't matter if I walk 5 blocks towards town or 5 blocks away from town. I always say I walked 5 blocks. I wouldn't say I walked negative 5 blocks. It's just not how we speak. So absolute value helps us communicate. The symbol for absolute value are these straight lines, and they simply mean how far from 0 is negative 5. How far from 0 is positive 5. Notice that absolute value comes out positive. You can only take the absolute value of one number. Oh, it would be nice if I could spell. Can only take, and I'm going to use the symbols here because I'm taking notes, absolute value of one number. And the number always comes out positive. So we're going to show how we get the absolute value of negative 3 on this number line. I'm going to go to negative 3, and I'm simply going to count how far from 0 it is. 1, 2, 3. So the absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3. As we go through the examples, you might want to pause it and try them on your own, and then unpause it to see if your answer matches mine. Absolute value of negative 21. There's one number inside those absolute value signs. It is 21 steps from 0. Absolute value of 17, again, 17 steps from 0. In example 3, there's not just one number in there. There's several numbers. So we have to, oh geez, wasn't what I expected. We have to solve this. I love playing with new technology. Put my pen down before I erase. Okay, not operating. Is it fun for you to watch me learn this? How to use this? There we go. I eventually get it. It's just like you. You're going to make mistakes in math, and that's okay. You're going to eventually figure it out. So 15 plus 6 is 21. So this is actually asking the absolute value of 21, which is 21 steps from 0. In number 4, you have to be really careful because the only thing inside the absolute value signs is the negative 10. How many steps from 0 is negative 10? Well, that's positive 10. but we had this negative sign on the outside. So even though it's an absolute value question, my answer is negative because this negative was not inside the symbols. Number 5, you should try. It is 64 steps from 0. Number 6, try. That is 77 steps from 0. Number 7, you can give that a shot. Now, a lot of you might not know how to do that in your head, so it's completely, totally okay and encouraged to just jot it down off to the side. So this means the absolute value of 35, which is 35. And number 8, give that a try. The only thing in the absolute value signs is the negative 28, and that's 28 steps from 0. However, there was a negative on the outside. That should help you complete tonight's homework. So you're going to need to click on the link that says click here to go to Chapter 1, Lesson 1, homework. And please feel free to try those other links, especially if you know how to enable Flash, because they allowed you to really use these numbers and use the number line and truly get a better understanding. I want you to know that I'm never going to know if you do that. It's about you being a learner, you saying, I'm going to practice that because I want to do well. And we're in a time where half of your schooling right now is online, and you have to make that choice. I'm going to practice it, even though Old Vanny's never going to know. Ranky will not find out if I don't do this, even if I tell her I did. But it's going to help you, personally, you in the long run, to do the work and do the practice for yourself. So when the quiz comes, it's easy. Okay, good luck. I'll see you soon.